Thanks, John. Welcome to the Lunchtime Look North. Good afternoon, I'm Nisha Joshu. Health bosses in our region say they're concerned about the spread of flu over the Christmas break. Experts believe the flu season began earlier this year, allowing the virus to mutate and spread more widely than normal, resulting in more people being hospitalised. Now, NHS bosses say families mixing could lead to a spike in cases among older people and those who haven't been vaccinated.
We are seeing it circulating more in children and young people. And obviously the thing that would then concern us is it's the school holidays. Those children are quite rightly going to be mixing with family and friends over Christmas, which is why the vaccine and appropriate hand hygiene measures are so important to protect those elderly people.
Investigations are continuing after a man in his 60s died after being struck by two cars on the A19 in Sunderland. It happened on Saturday night on the southbound carriageway. The road was closed for several hours. Police would like to hear from anyone who may have dashcam footage in the area at the time. The first single malt whisky has been produced in Northumberland for 200 years. It's been made at the Ardgeffran distillery in Wooler. While the first glasses came out of the barrels today, drinkers will need to be patient. Blending checks will take at least a year before the product is available to buy.
We've got a whole range of different flavours that are kind of coming to life, and we're here today to celebrate 10 of those barrels that we filled on the 22nd of December 2022 as they kind of come of age. And today the liquid in these barrels can officially be called whiskey.
To football and no early Christmas presents for our top teams at the weekend. Our Premier League sides each had to settle for a point, while there was a first defeat for Middlesbrough's new boss, Kim Hellberg. We start our roundup at St James's Park.
Was Santa feeling generous? Magpies fans certainly hoped so. Half-time certainly worked. Chelsea captain Reece James pulling one back with a pinpoint free kick. The not a penalty. And João Pedro, who opted to move to Chelsea ahead of Newcastle in the summer, drew the visitors level. No sides dropped more points from a winning position than the Magpies this season, leaving Eddie Howe ruining the chances missed. It shows Régis Lebris must be pinching himself that his side are sixth at Christmas in their first season back in the Premier League. Perhaps it should come as no surprise that Middlesbrough's first defeat under Kim Hellberg came against Bristol City, a real bogey team for Borough in recent years. They had plenty of chances, but it was the Robins who found the net. A mistake from keeper Sol Bryn, who's just signed a contract extension, allowing Emil Rees to get his name on the score sheet before Rob Atkinson doubled the lead. Borough unable to close the gap on leaders Coventry, but still second at Christmas. And Harrogate Town are back in the League Two relegation zone after a 4-0 drubbing by promotion-chasing MK Dons. A game to forget for Simon Weaver, who needs to turn things around in the new year to keep his side in the Football League. Dawn Hewless, BBC Look North.
Now, an up-and-coming director from Carlisle is showcasing the city's acting talent in a new film. He's just released a Christmas comedy about a stolen turkey, and it's set in one of Carlisle's oldest pubs. Ed Hansen has been to meet him.
The film is a black comedy farce about a middle-aged closeted dad.
You'll be gasping after that journey.
Promised Mum I wouldn't.
Give our way. What harm's one drink?
Who is attempting to rig his local pub's Christmas meat raffle and prove to his son that he's a real man.
The 15-minute short film was part funded by the British Film Institute and was shot in just 3 days with a largely local crew.
For me, it's really important to put this part of the world on screen because, I'm from here and I feel like we don't see Cumbria and Carlisle on screen very often. And we don't hear our accent and we don't, hear our dialect and the sort of way we speak and stuff like that.
I feel a bit.
Get it down, you man.
Jackson is played by Will,
Go on.
another local lad from Brough by Sands, a model who now has his first acting role under his belt.
Stuart put a lot of trust in me and I trusted Stuart's trust in me, so I think that made it easier. Once the cameras were on, I felt comfortable. I think it was just the build up to the shooting and the time before shooting. That's what was more difficult than actually doing the acting, I think.
The Sportsman pub in the city centre is the backdrop to the film.
It's a beautiful old building, and I remember coming here with my dad when I was a kid.
I thought it was amazing. I said, go for it. I actually cried. I cried because it was just an amazing film, and to know that somebody that I think the absolute world of created that, I was so very proud.
And hopefully, this is just the start.
I am now developing my debut feature film, which I've just finished the treatment for this week, and sort of assembling a team and trying to build that project and go for the funding and see if we can shoot it in the next year or two. That would be the absolute dream. And that's set in Cumbria as well.
Ed Hansen, BBC Look North, Carlisle.
And what started with just a couple of houses has now grown into a major festive tradition in a North Yorkshire town. Dozens of homes are now lit up each Christmas, turning Skibby near Richmond into a huge attraction. This year, residents are raising money for the Great North Air Ambulance. Looks fantastic, doesn't it? Okay, let's get our festive weather forecast with Paul Hudson.
Hello, good afternoon. Well, mixed fortunes over the next few days. Our weather dominated by easterly winds, and normally that means Cumbria fares best with a lot of cloud elsewhere. And certainly that's the way of it this afternoon. Some glorious spells of sunshine, certainly across western parts of Cumbria. Further to the east and to the south, a lot of cloud, that cloud thick enough for a little drizzle. But temperatures are, for the time being, above average, around 10 degrees Celsius. Now, through this evening and overnight, we'll see a lot of cloud filtering up from the southeast. It could be thick enough for a little drizzle, more especially across the Pennine. Still some breaks across parts of Cumbria. We'll see temperatures down to 6 degrees Celsius. The further outlook, mostly dry, rather cloudy, colder and brighter by Christmas. That's the forecast.
That's all from me this lunchtime. Alison Freeman is back with our evening news at the earlier time of 6:20. Join us then if you can. Bye for now.